Anyway, I want to talk about this. Last night, Akademiks versus Freddie Gibbs, which has been brewing for a little bit, absolutely exploded on the timeline. If you want to go to the No Jumper Instagram, you can read every single tweet that was sent for a period of time, although I'm pretty sure that there's a whole lot of new tweets. Basically, they're going to war. Akademiks, I think Freddie Gibbs basically started it out, or like the most recent version of it, because he actually said, I got 5,000 for any bad bitch that'll say she fucked Akademiks. Boom. It went crazy from there. Akademiks hopped on his Twitch and he was wilding. I've seen him drunk on Twitch multiple times before, but I've never seen him like this. And he was like slurring his speech, kind of. He was talking all crazy out the side of his mouth on some fucking murder shit. It was a totally different act, and he was definitely really unhappy with the Freddie Gibbs thing, but he also notably came for Ben Baller and basically said that Ben Baller is a scammer. He did call Drake an idiot at one point for basically...
I missed that part. I was looking. I saw you guys say that in the text, and I was looking for it, and I did not want to watch like a 2-hour Akademiks drunk video.
Before we get into like opinions and stuff, I just want to lay out a few things. So there was that thing. He said that Ben Baller is an idiot and a scammer, and then he said that Drake is an idiot for buying his chain from Ben Baller. But basically, Drake probably got hooked up because Drake is going to convince more people to do it or whatever. And then he also, this is a part that really, really stood out. And this is taking the 6ix9ine thing to another fucking level. And I saw this, Vlad, I believe, was the one who pointed this out, is that they were talking about the fact that Freddie Gibbs got shot at in New York City, right? Because Akademiks called 6ix9ine while he was on stream. And he said to 6ix9ine, like, you know who Freddie Gibbs is? And 6ix9ine said, oh yeah, that's the one that Harv shot at. So he basically, because there was an incident in which Freddie Gibbs got shot at in New York City, and I have absolutely no idea why. And I guess somehow Jim Jones came to be involved in it when Freddie Gibbs was saying fuck you to everybody. But basically, 6ix9ine snitched on Harv, who's already locked up for some bullshit that 6ix9ine snitched on him for. And 6ix9ine then basically implicated Harv in another murder. Who knows what the cops know? Maybe the cops, this ain't that much of interest to him, but it certainly might be, because there's no reason, just because he's locked up for shooting at somebody right now, don't mean he can't get locked up for more murders. So 6ix9ine saying that casually on FaceTime with Ak was like the most bugged out shit that I heard in a minute. Give us your thoughts. And because also, I just want to throw it out there, Freddie Gibbs is now making merchandise with a picture of a Teletubby with Akademiks' face on it, and then on the back it says Akademiks is the police.
Well, you already know. Freddie Gibbs is a personal friend of mine. You feel me? Like, I've been fucking with Gibbs for years. Gibbs he doesn't give a fuck what the industry thinks. He says what he feels at the end of the day. That nigga really ain't got no filter at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? But the thing that I didn't like, Akademiks brought his kids into the shit. And you don't do that to no street nigga at the end of the day. You feel me? If you bring my kids into the situation, it's up for life for me. I'm telling you that. If I ever see you, it's up there in any type of situation. But he didn't talk about my kids. You feel me? But yeah, that shit's fucked up though, okay? I don't like that. I don't like that shit.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty bad strategic move from my perspective. Because at the end of the day, if
that nigga was foaming at the mouth.
Akademiks' whole business, his whole brand is based around it's not entirely based around, but basically, he has to function within the music industry. And if he doesn't want the kind of, like, the problems that he had with Vic Mensa, fine, because Vic Mensa's not going to shoot you. And you can see Vic Mensa at Comedy Con, he ain't going to do nothing. The problems that he now has with Freddie Gibbs, like what you're saying, I'm assuming that Freddie Gibbs' attitude on it might be pretty close to yours, and that he probably has a lot of associates.
I didn't talk to him yet. But this is the thing when it comes down to it. If you're going to be a blogger, right? If you're going to be a journalist at the end of the day, and you saying that you're not a street guy, you don't want no issues, you don't do nothing like that, then there's certain ways that you handle shit. You're handling it like you want real smoke with the nigga. You know what I'm saying? And if that was me, I'm going to assume that you after me and I'm going to get cracking with you as soon as I see you. So if that's not what the wavelength that you on, you shouldn't do that in the first place. Adam, you do the shit all the time. Adam, he has fun. He says what he says at the end of the day, but he does not try to be a tough guy in any type of capacity. And Adam probably will fuck one of you niggas up to keep it G. But you don't come across as that, right?
No, but I mean, Akademiks does, like, when you see the way he moves, is that I don't think anybody's catching Akademiks slipping, because I ain't never seen anybody post a video of running into him somewhere.
JFK got popped in the head. Nigga, the president got smoked. Anybody can get smoked if it's up there. I'm just letting you know.
That was back in the day. I don't know if they really have like sniper level resources for Akademiks.
Shit.
I don't know, but basically, all right, let's just put it this way. I saw that Anthony Fantano had a poll up on his Twitter. It said, who you supporting in this, Akademiks or Freddie? It was, I think, 95% Freddie Gibbs. And that is, and let's be real. there's a lot more people who watch Akademiks' videos and follow Akademiks on Instagram than listen to the new Freddie Gibbs tape. But at the end of the day, Freddie Gibbs
is fire.
It is fire. I also want to say that too. Go stream Alfredo. This is a great project. But at the end of the day, if you're a musician and you're making music that people love versus being like a blogger or like me or whatever, like same thing with me. I know there's a lot of people who follow my shit. I got probably, I don't know if I have more followers than Freddie Gibbs, but I have a lot of followers, whatever. If I get into a beef with Freddie Gibbs, it's not going to go that good for me because at the end of the day, as an artist, you get to be uncompromising. As a blogger, you have to very much compromise yourself all the time because you're a news outlet. You're the one having the conversations. People are never going to love your content the way that people love like real uncompromising hip hop, So from the moment, and people like their view of Freddie Gibbs is that he is an uncompromised person, that he very much is a soldier of hip hop, and that he's out here doing his thing, and that it's just, this is not the fight that Akademiks wanted to take on. If I was Akademiks, I would have kind of took it on the chin, took the disses at a certain point, because Akademiks doesn't respond to most people who diss him. That's kind of like part of his protocol that he's actually described to me, is that most people who say shit about him, he just doesn't respond back. For some reason, Freddie Gibbs, he decided, all right, this is somebody I'm gonna publicly beef with. I don't think it was a good choice for him.
But you got to look and see what happened. If you really look at it, Axe started the whole shit.
He started with the calling out for the...
He said if Jeezy's irrelevant, then you're irrelevant at the end of the day. So if you say something about me and I defend myself, and in response to that, you bring my kids into the situation, now it's a whole nother monster when it could have been a misunderstanding at the end of the day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That, and he did a video like 2 weeks ago or something talking about Freddie Gibbs saying, like, if you're on Crime Watch, Crime Stoppers, and you're whatever, an op, and Akademiks did a whole video on like why Freddie Gibbs is like...
Right, because, okay, right at the very moment that the Gunna Crime Stoppers show, whatever thing was like a huge part of the conversation that was happening, right at that moment, Freddie Gibbs chose to tweet out some shit about, if you were ever on Crime Stoppers and you're a snitch, yada, yada, yada. And then he tried to say that he wasn't talking about Gunna. Because Akademiks, whoever on his team, posted it and basically said, like, this is Freddie Gibbs offering his thoughts more or less about Gunna.
He did a whole video on it.
After the fact, after Freddie Gibbs said that he wasn't referring to that
but
or whatever.
But that's what Akademiks does, though. That's his job to do that.
To connect the dots, to be like, oh, look, Freddie Gibbs
to
said this.
Speculate anything. Adam would do the same
connect
thing.
Some shit. I would do it too, for
he
sure.
Would do the same thing. But let me tell you guys something. Streetwise, you can't call nobody a snitch unless you see their paperwork. If it ain't no paperwork, you can't say nobody is telling. You know what I'm saying? So if you cooperated with the police, it's in black and white, it's public records. You can look that shit up.
But that's what the act wasn't saying, like, oh, Freddie Gibbs is saying this about Gunna, and act is also not saying Gunna is a snitch. His whole platform is he just throws it up there and says, what do you think?
Nigga, it's clickbait.
Do you think Freddie Gibbs was talking about Gunna? I don't know.
Nigga, like you would do the same exact thing. It's clickbait.
Because it's a lot safer and easier. Because if I was posting about that, I can't say the Gunna's a snitch, nor do I give a fuck. But I can't conclusively say that. And also, I can't conclusively say that Freddie Gibbs was talking about Gunna. But you can post it and say, who do you think he's talking about? Do you think he's talking about Gunna? A lot of people are having this conversation about Gunna right now. So I actually think that Akademiks, in terms of that disagreement, I think he definitely has a strong point, which is that Freddie Gibbs, like, you are commentating on the culture and you're saying things, and if you're going to say something about snitches at the exact moment that everybody's having this conversation, then you're gonna have to expect that people are gonna have that conversation in public. And so I think he was right about that. I think Act totally crossed the line when he started saying shit about his kids. And I also think that when Act starts arguing about who has more money and stuff, this is not a great argument for him to try and choose either, because at the end of the day, nobody loves Freddie Gibbs because he has the most money. People fuck with him because he seems like a stand-up dude and his music is good and he's a good rapper.
Super funny.
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
Money has nothing to do with character.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Who you is as a person at the end of the day.
If you wanted to like a rapper based on who has the most money, then you might like, a Gunna or a Drake or whoever, like the biggest rappers. Freddie Gibbs is clearly somebody that people listen to, not because he's the most fucking rich or whatever. It's just because they respect
Freddie's
him.
a lyricist. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Freddie is somebody that's been here over a decade and can still be here over a decade at the end of the day.
And so, but now you have Freddie basically saying that he is going to torture Akademiks until he's basically forced out of the industry, and that is kind of, if he really sticks to that,
have you ever
that's
watched
a lot of pressure.
Freddie's story?
I was about to comment.
I need to watch it more, but yes,
I watch
it's great.
Freddie's story every single day. It's
so
the most
funny.
entertaining shit.
I want to know where he finds his memes.
The best part is we went to Vegas for day and night, and we went to this like hibachi spot, and like we told them it was our birthday, so they bring out like this like thing covered with like a blanket, and then they reveal it, and it's a big dick, and then House One takes a shot of it. Did you see that picture or video?
And he was asking
And,
about it. He has
and
very
Freddie,
I was
Freddie
concerned.
posted it,
Oh,
and
yeah,
I thought
yeah,
it was
yeah.
so funny.
Yo, Freddie Gibbs' Instagram story randomly
I didn't know
calling your
that was
homie
real.
gay.
I was like,
Yeah, he's like, well, that photo wasn't real, was it? I'm like, oh no, that's real. Yeah.
I was like, sheesh.
He was slurping from a schlong. It was a whole thing.
that was
yeah.
funny.
But anyway, like, so now the floodgates are kind of open because people are seeing how well Freddie Gibbs' battle against Akademiks is sort of playing out in the public eye. And now you got Meek Mill on his head. Meek Mill had a crazy tweet earlier basically saying, like, Akademiks is canceled, yada, yada, yada. I mean, Meek Mill, another person who has a lot of sway in the industry, and I feel like, you know, if
Meek a real nigga.
right, but if
Someone you
Meek
definitely
is
shouldn't be beefing with.
you know, if Meek
your
is saying
Akademiks.
that, but Meek has been having issues with Ak for a long ass time. The Freddie Gibbs one is new.
But see, you got to understand this. As a street nigga, right? What I'm gonna give y'all the basic principles. If you are, which is 6ix9ine, if you are affiliating yourself with a known snitch, you're giving them the platform at the end of the day, you are affiliated with that. It's just like you're just as guilty at the end of the day. Now, you could do your blog and you could do this and do that. Now, Adam, what he doesn't care about the 6ix9ine situation. It doesn't affect him, but he doesn't shed light on it. He does exactly what he's supposed to do. Is this happened in the news at the end of the day, but his personal opinions on it, he don't put that shit up in there.
Oh no, I put my opinions out about 6ix9ine all the time. It's just like, and that's one thing I
But
hate.
that doesn't stop you from shedding light on the situation.
Right, but I also like, I feel like if 6ix9ine takes a W, it's right for us to cover it and call it a W, but then also to contextualize it, like, okay, he got #1 with Nicki Minaj, that's really great, but also look how he did it. Like, you got to be real about it, because you can't just give in to the smoke and mirrors of 6ix9ine, especially in his case where it's so fucking blatantly taking place right before your eyes.
Off of how I think about stuff and how I've been affected. I've been snitched on before at the end of the day, and there's certain stuff that you don't play with. And my whole thing is this: I don't have a personal problem with 6ix9ine, but I don't want other kids to think that you can you can join gangs, you can do this, you could do this, you could do this, you could tell on somebody, ruin people's lives, and come back and be successful. It's giving out the wrong message at the end of the day.
If 6ix9ine just so happened to be in the other room, would you go beat the dog shit out of him just for the culture?
I'm not gonna beat him up because I don't have no personal issue with the nigga.
I don't snitch on a bunch of people. Like,
I don't care. If I sock the nigga, he gonna tell on me then, right?
No, yeah, definitely.
So that's
Probably be worth it, right?
I mean, nah, it ain't worth it.
Do a little bid.
Nah, this nigga working with the feds.
That's
cool,
permanent
man.
clout. Post that video, boom, AD.
But I don't do shit for
Your
clout.
stock is through the roof.
But I
respect
don't
that,
do shit for
I
clout.
respect it.
I would keep it G.
Yeah, but can you just beat the shit out of somebody because you disagree with?
Academy says in regards to black music or whatever, but then if you're looking at the BET, that's supposed to be black owned television.
But remove the racial dynamic. Me growing up looking at MTV, why would I have ever thought that MTV was going to give me anything other than a completely politicized? You know, I just never thought that this was a trustworthy name that I would. But I'm also a person that never grew up interested in the Grammys. I never thought that there was anything that the Grammys were ever going to put out into the world that I was going to find resonated with me in any way.
I get that one.
It's an accolade that like people strive their whole careers to get, you know, a Grammy or whatnot.
But I would have never in a million years, as a person who's interested in music, would have never thought about getting a Grammy or someone I know winning a Grammy. Like, the idea that people want that and that's a big thing that a lot of people are gunning for is so completely foreign to me.
But you got to remember when Kendrick was going against Macklemore, and Macklemore ended up winning the Grammy, and he ended up texting Kendrick like, "You deserve this." Like, even he thought
one of the corniest things in the history of hip hop.
It wasn't corny. He didn't deserve Album of the Year that year.
No, but him texting Kendrick saying that and then posting it.
Well, yeah,
is one of the lamest things that anyone in and shout out to Macklemore. You know, he probably knows in retrospect that was a little corny, but
I don't think his intentions was like, let me do this cornball shit. He knew the outrage that people was having, and I feel like if he didn't say nothing at all publicly, people would probably be on his head like white privilege type shit.
Him saying it to Kendrick was just so fucking weird. And okay, if the year is 2020 and I'm Macklemore and I'm up against Kendrick Lamar for Album of the Year and I win, I am gonna get on stage and say, I am so sorry I'm really sorry because like from the beginning, because I don't think they would in this day and age. There's no way they're letting Kendrick get beat by Macklemore for best album of the year, because that would spark more protests. Like there would be protests. Like there should be protests if that were to happen. I wouldn't be
surprised if it happened.
Well, Macklemore is not really.
The Grammys have been like literally trying to get it right, like showing them, the black community, like, nah, we're not going for that no more.
We forgot to mention it, but yeah, the internet shut down and the entire computer shut down. So this part that we're recording right now is not something that we did live. So if you want to see this, then you're seeing it right now for the first time. So that's cool. We don't have the pressure of everybody watching us live. They're going to just see it after the fact, which is, for me, I feel exactly the same. But
yeah, I do enjoy reading some of the funny comments, but whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, this has been another episode of the No Jumper Show. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you want to support, like, comment, subscribe, and go to nojumper.com. Get yourself a kendama or a t-shirt or something. Appreciate y'all.